A new report is revealing Canada's cyberspy agency blocked more than 6 billion malicious actions per day against the federal government. It's also conducting more active foreign cyber operations than ever before. Joining us now with more is CTV's Rachel Aiello. Rachel, walk us through what was in this report.
Hey, Marcia. Yeah, so today this annual report came out from CSE, the Communication Security Establishment, essentially Canada's Foreign Intelligence Cyber Operations Centre. So they are in charge of monitoring signals intelligence from abroad and taking steps to counteract it. So what we've learned in this report today is that they are taking more active foreign cyber operations than ever before. They were granted new powers in 2019, and under Minister Annan's authority, she's the Minister of National Defence, they are able to pursue these operations. So what we found out in the report today is that they've done 3 active operations and 1 defensive. So that would be protecting Canadian government systems, whereas the other ones would be acting abroad in some sort of way. And while they were pretty slight on details of what these operations entailed, Marcia, we did learn that one of them was to disrupt terrorist content from foreign ideologically motivated extremists. And some of these operations can last for a year. These authorizations are able to allow them to do multiple things within kind of this purview. So it's quite an interesting thing to note that this is in this context of, as you mentioned there, billions, if not trillions a year attempts to interfere with the government of Canada, cyber actors, whether that be criminals, foreign states, or hackers. The government is now also taking proactive steps to counter some of this abroad.
So tell us more then about these malicious actions. What would that include?
So we're talking about a wide range of things, whether it's foreign governments trying to disseminate disinformation or cyber criminals impacting everyday Canadians. So in the report, they talk about as well common forms of scams that they are seeing being reported to them. So as part of their job, CSE works with industry and tries to alert Canadians about threats facing them. So one of the big things that they highlighted in this report, Marcia, was phishing attempts. What they're seeing is an uptick in you and I getting texts on our phones telling us a package has been delivered, or information about a health product or something, trying to get you to click a link that would then either install malicious software on your device or try to get you to put in your personal or financial information. They've also been monitoring these threats to critical infrastructure. So core pieces of Canadian infrastructure are being targeted. They're saying in here that things that involve industrial systems, being able to turn the lights on and off, or more broader than that, natural resources, for example, these are sectors that these foreign state actors and malicious cyber actors are trying to target. They see them as vulnerable threats. And so they're really trying to work CSE in alerting industry and Canadians about how to make sure that they are protecting themselves as best as possible online in the face of this ever-evolving threat of cyber actors online.
And is this considered foreign interference, Rachel?
So there is some conversation about foreign interference. That's kind of one element of this, Marcia. So they do play a role. CSE is on that site task force, that election task force that was set up. But in between elections, they also do play a role working with political parties. They alerted them after the invasion of Ukraine by Russia about an increase in online disinformation, for example. They have systems set up so parties can contact them if they're noticing any sort of cybersecurity issues in the off period between elections, but they do also play a role during them in monitoring it. Now, in this report, they didn't specify any specific examples of foreign interference that they played a role in combating, but they do call out China specifically. They talk about those so-called police stations that were set up, really drawing attention to their record and history of targeting and intimidating diaspora communities within countries like Canada.
Rachel Aiello joining us from the Bureau. Rachel, thank you for that important update.